called war. Tomorrow we'll be discussing that. The real agenda behind this war, moving straight out of the cough into another narrative that will lead to more people in this earth getting oppressed by the one world power. All of this stuff is on schedule, folks. One day the virus disappear, and then the next day a war. Okay, so all of these things are strategic, but at the end of it, it's to target God's people, to put the military and other things in place that will engage God's people like they did in 70 AD. Okay, so don't fall for the news narratives. This is all theater. This is all theater. And if those that are looking at Bible prophecy and understand Bible prophecy, you'll understand how the European powers, the 10 horns, is using the theater of sickness, famine, shortages, war to actually build what? A wall or a garrison around a wall around the people. It's about strategically putting military in place for an eventual engagement like they did against our people in 70 AD. And I'm going to be discussing that. Okay. The joker in all of this is Iran. That's the joker in all of this. Let's not be diverted or sidetracked with what's going on strictly in Ukraine and Russia. Is it important? Will people get oppressed and all that through what's going on there? Yes. Yes. But just like the Rahm Emanuel, that's right, one of Satan's sons claimed or stated, we cannot let a good disaster go to waste. Okay? So the whole thing is these narratives is to do what? To progress Satan's new world order against the population of those who believe in Christ. Now, there are levels to this. Are we saying that Russia, politically isn't doing what they're supposed to do to sustain it, well, what they think they should do to sustain their country? That's another layer in of itself. Yes, there is a narrative where Russia feels that their security is being compromised if a part of what was once the USSR joined with NATO. That is true. That's true also. So there's layers there. Russia is doing what they can to protect their country. But all in all, NATO is trying to come in so that they can actually strategically be able to eventually, with America, Israel, and other countries, the Western world, Rome, at the helm, to eventually go against Iran. Iran is the joker prophetically. Everything else is leading up to that. So there's going to be a lot of written narratives that will distract people, okay, in this time concerning what they are looking at as a war right now. Okay, when the real war is against the people who are suffering in these ghettos, the children of Israel. That's the war that continually gets ignored. All right. So I'm going to be going into that and more during the academy tomorrow. OK, so if this interests you, hey, make sure you join the academy. And if you haven't joined it already, you can do so by going to historytimes.org. OK, go there, enroll. And our administrators and those who are working around the clock will make sure that you receive your information in a timely fashion through your tablet, through your computer or phone to get in by 9 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. Now, we're going to be right up on the news and everything. As soon as we're going to jump right in tomorrow with the news, right after Elder Lawyer's Hebrew. But please, I need you all to make sure that if you're going to do it, enroll in a timely fashion so that we can have you in there, because the news is going to be just off the charts. And in respect of YouTube's guidelines, and we respect the guidelines, there's things that we just can't discuss here today. Okay. So we'll be able to delve more into that tomorrow concerning the war and how the world powers is actually using it for something prophetic. Okay. That's not World War III. But all in all, what they have going on there will continue what the so-called Biden administration started, which is the oppression of the people within the United States. Because war does what? It drives up the cost of everything. So now through so-called Corona and all those things, prices went through the roof. With them having to send all this money to other people who weren't working and all these other things, with the companies being stressed with no employees during a certain amount of time, that's inflation. So when you throw money out to all these other components that the country wasn't prepared to deal with, emergency, whatever, that drives up the cost of everything. So this is a financial war against the poor. A rich person or a person who's filthy rich doesn't care about what groceries cost when they have their own farms and all those things. But this is going to drive up the price of gas, petrol, and all that. And they're going to have a built-in excuse so that if anything happened within the United States, it's conveniently blamed on Russia. Watch what I'm telling you. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, and automatically the bad guy, the political bad guy, has already taken center stage, in which they can politically blame everything that goes wrong within the United States on Russia. It's more so a press on the population within the country in of itself, America. You got something on that, Olivia?
No, sir.
All right, just want to make sure. Let me turn off this beast mode real quick. All right, it's right here. this people's tracker, and that's why we have cell blocks. You can get that on our website. Drop your phone in and disappear. Also, I want to announce that the calendars have went out to brothers and sisters. I hope you are enjoying the calendars. And yes, it gives you the correct times according to Sabbaths. But you can still use that calendar as a regular calendar. But know what days the holy days fall on and the Sabbaths fall on, including New Year's and new moons, which translates to new months, changes of seasons. There's no calendar like this in the earth. I'm telling you right now, it's the biblical calendar of Sabbaths. There have been many people up until this time who tried to get that calendar together and get it correct. And the Most High gave it to us to convey and give out to the people. Now, because it costs, the designs and all those things, we're keeping that cost modest at $20 for the annual calendar, right? So it doesn't cost too much. Makes we ship it out and all those things, but we have to pay for the cost because, it's a design calendar. It's nice pictures. You can frame whatever the case might be for only $20. But if you don't have a calendar, you can always go to gatheringofchrist.org, look under holy days and all that, and the calendar dates are right there. So it's not as if we are withholding the true information concerning the days that you must be on point concerning Sabbaths. That's an obligation to all of us to know that time in respect to worship the Most High on the days that he said do so. Okay? So the calendar is something different. It's something you can have as a designer piece in your kitchen or other places. nice pictures been put together. The scriptures are there to let you know how exact the Sabbath calendars are for you. And on top of that, you can just look at each month and know what day your Sabbaths fall on and what day your what? You got it. Your holy days fall on. And these are the same holy days that are being kept in heaven the same time. So that's right. Thou shalt be done, like Elder Lawyer said in his prayer, the Lord's Prayer. Thou shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. So the calendar helps us to do what? To rehearse the righteous acts, to actually link in and be on the same wavelength as the heavens. And guess what? We're already doing it here. So those that are found keeping his Sabbaths, that's a sign between heaven and those who truly believe in the God of Israel, who is the God of all gods. So make sure you get that calendar. Go to gatheringofchrist.org, gatheringofchrist.org, and get your calendar, okay? Wanted to put that out there. Now, let's get